Okay guys, it's early in the AM and I've got the mother-sucking business, yes. And some people complain that I do this, I don't know why. Because the girl is 48, 6 years and counting in ketosis with no refeeds on carbs. So I often start my videos like that because it's a good leader into the subjects that I'm actually going to explain. Why I, at this age, can maintain this muscularity, which is my endocrine system, and this level of leanness, which is also your endocrine system, but also your reproductive hormones specifically, and the fact that I've got muscles that are very metabolically active. And how this evolved. But here we go. Got some energy. All right. So why do we get fat? Not myself per se, but why have I not gotten fat? Why do you guys get fat and sick, and how to get rid of it in general or with ketogenesis? So I'm going to be kind of lumping together things that I've said in the past, but each day I learn something new. So over time my thoughts evolve. They might be a little rough in the beginning, but they evolve, as we all do. So here we go. Why the heck do some of us get fat, right? And some of us do not? Well, we like to blame genetics. Now, genetics play a particular role, but we are more alike than we actually are genetically different. So it comes down to a thing called epi-friggin-genetics. It's amazing. What you do with your DNA, it's everything. It's everything and everything without the nothingness. It's everything. And a lot of people, we just live our lives. We just stick stuff in our mouths. We do stuff, and we don't understand what we're doing to our endocrine system, to our hormones deep inside. Now, let's talk about the old blood glucose. Because really, if I just cut right through this whole 15 minutes, insulin is the reason why you're getting fat. Things like leptin or starvation mode might be the reasons, and thyroid might be the reasons why you're not burning the fat. But we've heard of these terms and words and whatnot, but let's freaking puzzle piece it together. All right, here we go. This is about 4 to 5 grams. This is a teaspoon. And if you see that teaspoon? That's the amount of carbohydrates that we can have every time we have a meal, like a main meal, like a lunch or dinner or breakfast, for the entire freaking day. That much, can you see that? That's how much that you can handle in your entire body for the day. Now imagine if I was a big 6'4" guy, right, or 6'2", and I was 189 centimeters. This is not a lot of glucose, but we don't. I wish I had a bowl here. We have a bowl of glucose, right? By the time it hits your blood, it's glucose. This is all that you can handle. We'll have cereal, we'll have bagels, we'll have bread, we'll have pasta, we'll have juice, we'll have ice cream, we'll have whatever. Oatmeal, quinoa. And we go way over our allotted amount of glucose that our body can actually handle. Now, when I say that our body can only handle a teaspoon of glucose, what I mean is what the body can go and match it with insulin from the pancreas. So the pancreas is going to release insulin, but it's also going to release a hormone called glucagon, which is going to, one's going to take you down, one's going to bring you back up, and you're going to hit right here in the middle, this homeostatic balance. But a lot of you guys lose the ability to hit that middle back. You oversecrete insulin, and then you undersecrete glucagon, and then you crash. You have reactive hypoglycemia. Well, let's go into the crux of things. So we're eating and we're eating and we're eating garbage our whole life. Yes, garbage from the freaking garbage can sitting outside in your corner. This isn't food, guys. This isn't food. This is garbage. And you put garbage in your mouth every day. And I know we're like cockroaches, right? but we can eat whatever and we can live a long time. But then we get fat, we get sick, we get bloated, we get emotional, we become subjective, and then we're a bunch of unhappy people, and we're going to our therapist, and our therapist is not really taught in maybe your endocrine system or nutrition. So we think it's all mental, right? We've created this ourselves. We've created addictions within the cells of our body. We create generations of cells that crave bad things because we've trained it to crave bad things, like bad foods. And so when you go off, you have a rebound effect, you have withdrawal symptoms, and then all of a sudden you think it's a psychological event. 1 teaspoon is 4 to 5 grams of glucose. Your body has to match it with 4 or 5 grams of insulin to take it out of the blood. Now that, you guys, is fine. The body can do math up to about 5 grams. 1 gram of glucose, hey, no problem. 1 gram, because I'm not glam, I'm just Steph. 1 gram of insulin from the pancreas. 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, 5 and 5, 6, whoa. Because if we're living out in the wild, that ain't no cracker trees, all right? There's no cookie, no oatmeal, all the things that we are touted of being healthy. There are no quinoa trees as a hunter-gatherer society. These fast food potato chips and crackers and Quest bars and all this garbage, protein shakes, these things didn't exist. Coffee. Yeah, I didn't stutter. Coffee. Man, when I post on my Facebook, people get like almost violent. I'm like, yo, your endocrine system is jacked up. Because if I didn't agree with someone, I would just turn the page. Why would I sit and complain? Clearly, they messed up. These things are not normal for the body to metabolize. But I digress, as you know. All right, here we go. Here we go. Just get some energy. Yes. All right. You eat a bowl of cereal. Maybe you've got 15 grams. You might have 30. Probably have 30. 33, 35. You have juice. You can get up to 40, 50 grams of glucose hitting the bloodstream at one time. So now the body's like, yo, I can handle 5, but I can't do the math of 50 carbs. Glucose, grams of glucose. Can't. So the pancreas, what it does is it overshoots its insulin. Now you have insulin flooding the bloodstream, which can be a toxin in itself. It stacks up in the blood and it's very difficult to clear out. And this can also damage cells. But you have this flood of insulin, and it takes out all of your glucose. What it can't store is glycogen or use immediately or go to the liver. Then it gets stored as fat because it just wants to get the glucose out of the blood, because if you don't get the glucose out of the blood, it kills and makes things die, like your cells. So it's called advanced glycation end product. Ages. This is what gives us heart attacks. This is what plaques the arteries, right? Plaques it. This destruction of your cells, the protein lining. And this is what makes your cells get sticky, misshapen, and glued together. And then you have this poor, delicate system of the LDL, the low-density lipoproteins, that are taking cholesterol to actually fix the inflammation, and they become small and particle. They become sticky. Everything's sticky and everything plaques in the presence of too much sugar, which we clearly overeat, which is why keto is so appealing. Now, somebody said, oh, that's so stupid analogy where orange juice on the floor and fat, like if you dropped orange juice on the floor as opposed to dropping butter, butter's going to slide through your arteries. It was just a simple visual, people. Chill the frack out of what butter doesn't actually stick or glycate. Fat does not glycate unless it's a trans fat. an unstable oxidized oil. But it's an animal fat, you get to go. Because our bodies with fat, right? Fat, that fat is going to be stable in cold temperatures, and it's going to be stable in heat. And that's why you see the butter and the other meat fats and lard and tallow and duck fat and goose fat, and these fats don't smoke so easily as even our lovely coconut oil. This is very stable fat, and fat is rich in vitamins. Now, do fat cells store toxins? Absolutely. But if you're not eating toxins, and you're not getting the EMF poisoning and pollution and pesticides, then you're not storing the toxins. And that is why we got to do our due diligence and try to invest our money in our food. Yes. I don't really buy many things, as you can see. I invest 99.9% of all my money into food. And that's why I'm almost 50 and I'm able to reap the benefits of still being Steph. I haven't turned into this thing of the former Steph, this representation of the no. This is Steph. Long time ago, this is Steph today. Almost like a time stop. So ketogenesis has this amazing way of protecting your DNA, because not only are you not eating sugar, which you don't have the damage of the cells, the glycation, but you also have the benefits of all your systems taking a break by running on ketones. So there's less work for the body because it's very even. You're not having this craziness going on and developing a dysbiosis of the gut. But let's keep going before my time runs out. So why do we get fat? Well, we're eating foods that are high in glucose, which means you're high in insulin. Insulin is a storage hormone, basically. It puts things in places. But one of the biggest things that it does with the modern human is that it stores fat. So when people go on the ketogenic diet, and I don't know, one of my stupid EMF freaking devices just got activated. But anyway, okay. So even though you don't eat carbohydrates, the whole point about, well, diabetics, they have an issue with too high glucose in the bloodstream, which is deadly, right? And they got to take drugs, and then they become hypoglycemic because they have too much insulin in the system, and their body's not regulating these micrograms of insulin anymore that take stuff out and that overtakes stuff out. Now, we can develop reactive hypoglycemia as well, where you eat something, and then within 2 hours you crash, which is why people crash between 1 and 4 in the afternoon. Yes, they develop this blood sugar dysregulation because insulin and glucagon, they work in opposition, and one is high, then the other one switches. So this one takes it down and this one brings your glucose back up, and you're supposed to feel it balance. But the problem is glucagon's not working, your insulin's too high. The insulin stops working because you become insulin, resistant. Yes, my brain. I'm running on ketones. You become insulin resistant. That means that insulin keeps being secreted, but it's exhausted. It doesn't do its job very well. And that can also happen. The pancreas can wear out, and that can also happen with your glucagon. So even though you're on keto and you're not eating that many carbohydrates, and you're like, why am I still getting fat? Or why am I still tired? Or why am I still crashing? Why do I feel sick? It's because insulin is still being secreted in the presence of glucose that you're making through gluconeogenesis. Yes, gluconeogenesis is taking and making glucose and spiking it real high, and there's nothing to get it down. So you feel tired because nothing's going to the cell, and I got to do second half. So, I know, this sucks. I got to do second half. But these subjects, they're quite interesting, and believe it or not, to create the visual, I've got to do part 2. So wait for the part 2. And if you guys want to learn more, if you want to be able to Skype with me, you can go to stephanieperson.com for a consultation. Stephanie the Business Person on my Facebook fan page, or Stephanie Ketogenic on my Instagram. But the Facebook is really cool because I actually bring up a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about in my videos. Peace out. Beep, beep.